Jason here from The Pursuit of Squash. In this video, I'll be talking about the sweet spot. What is it? Why should you know about it? And how to find it. In squash terms, the sweet spot is the point on the racket where your hand will feel no force when you make contact with the ball. Imagine for a moment that you're holding a racket in your hand as shown. When a squash ball hits the racket, it will try to rotate around its center of mass. The direction of rotation depends on where the ball made contact. So for example, if a ball hits the racket near the top, you will feel a force pulling the racket away from your hand. If the ball hits the racket near the bottom, you will feel a force pushing into your hand. If the ball hits the center of mass directly, you will again feel a force into your hand. You might see where I'm going with this. At some point on the racket, these forces will cancel out. When the ball contacts this point, the opposing forces neutralize each other, and the racket remains perfectly still in your grip. That is the sweet spot. Now, because the racket face is two-dimensional, we must also consider what happens when the ball hits the racket off-center. In this scenario, it's easier to see that the middle of the racket is where you want to hit the ball, because if it hits off-center, you will feel the racket trying to rotate one way or another in your hand. So now that you know what the sweet spot is, why would you want to hit the ball there? Well, the answer to this question comes down to accuracy and consistency. Hitting the sweet spot guarantees that the racket face will follow the path of your swing perfectly. Hitting anywhere else means that upon contact, an unexpected force will act on your grip, potentially changing the direction of the racket face, and therefore changing where the ball is going to go. Missing the sweet spot can turn a perfect drive down the sidewall into one that clips the sidewall early, sending the ball into the middle of the court. In terms of consistency, when a player regularly hits the sweet spot, they will start to learn how deep the ball will land in the court in various situations. Missing that spot again means that the ball will behave unexpectedly and often resulting in a poor shot. It will either be over or under hit. Now at this point, you're probably wondering, well, how do I find the sweet spot? This is usually a loaded question. Finding the sweet spot is quite easy. Simply hold the racket out in front of you and begin bouncing the ball around the racket face. At some point near the center of the racket, you will notice that there is little to no vibration or force on your hand. There it is. However, usually what is meant when people ask this question is, how do I hit the sweet spot consistently while actually playing squash? The answer to that, unfortunately, is many, many hours of practice, a consistent technique, and minor tweaks to your swing until it becomes second nature. Getting to this point is all part of the learning experience and ultimately is very rewarding as you see your shots improve. If you would like to improve your squash, you can find more videos at thepursuitofsquash.com. As always, don't forget to leave a like or subscribe if you enjoyed this video.